Imagine that you have a whole week with the world's best teachers, and while you're doing that, you're in one of the best places to learn from a geography point of view, Costa Rica.
Surf Simply gave me exactly the foundation that I was hoping for when I came here. And that foundation, it's definitely going to be a lifelong habit for me, and Surf Simply is going to be a part of that going forward.
I would explain it as a 1 week of surfing in paradise in the best environment humanly possible. It was one of the best vacations, if not the best vacation I've ever had.
So I've only been surfing for about 5 years. I really started more when we got together. She's been surfing for about 10 years. Never really had any coaching before, so this is definitely easing the experience along.
So I actually found the big whiteboard Wednesdays, the original one, when it was actually a whiteboard. So I've been wanting to do this for about 10 years. And so I finally, when we got together, we talked about it and we're like, let's do it. We're adults now, so we can actually do it.
I started surfing a couple of years ago, only on the weekends. We had heard great things about Surf Simply. We heard it was an educational program, which is different than anything we've experienced with surfing. We wanted to really learn the fundamentals of surfing so that we could take it home and ultimately continue to improve.
How could I miss an opportunity to go on vacation and learn how to surf better with my dad? My goal was to improve on fundamentals. I definitely understand a lot more now, and I've made it a lot further than I thought I ever would in such a short period of time.
A trip to Maui where I got a taste of surfing. I basically said, hey, I want to figure out what's the best way to learn, did my research, and it was pretty quickly that I landed on Surf Simply and then texted AJ, and 2 years later, here we are.
Yeah, he said my story. He texted me after he came back from Hawaii. He's like, do you want to go to Surf Simply and learn how to surf? I was like, okay, when? He's like, in 2 years. I was like, why in 2 years? Because it's the best surf school in the world. And yeah, it definitely lives up to its reputation.
The coaching methodology is the best I've had, not only for surfing, obviously, but really in any walk of life. They break everything down to its simplest common denominator in a way that's easy to understand, in a way that we can take out and practice right away. And then having video to go ahead and reinforce what you're doing well and maybe what you're doing not so well is just invaluable.
Breaks down really complex movements into its smaller component parts, which makes it really easy to understand and then put back together into like a larger, more fluid movement, which helps definitely accelerate your learning curve.
The tree of knowledge, it's amazing. Everyone just sees surfing as, okay, just stand up and turn and put weight here, but they've broken it down into such a system. It's really incredible.
I'm very type A and very analytical, so having the regimented, formal way to articulate and provide vocabulary to what you're doing and be like, okay, these are actually the things that you need to do to have this result happen was just incredible.
an incredible amount of energy, an incredible amount of enthusiasm, was extremely didactic, really helped us break down absolutely everything we're doing step by step.
I was coached by Gabriel. You can tell that he doesn't just coach surfing, he lives surfing and really loves what he does. And that really shows in the way he teaches.
So we had Teal. I can't say enough good things about her.
She was incredible. The right amount of encouragement, trying to egg you on to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit. So it was great.
So my coaches were Jesse and Amaya, and they were just utterly brilliant. I'm inquisitive by nature. I ask a lot of questions. I take a lot of notes. And they were totally willing to work with me on that, make sure that I was understanding it, the concepts and things that they were teaching me in a way that made sense to my brain. I couldn't recommend either of them higher enough. They're both wonderful teachers.
So for me, the waves were like nothing I've ever seen. Never in my life did I surf anything overhead. But early on, I got the confidence that I could actually get into those waves. My surfing highlight of the week was definitely the first bomb that I dropped in on, and getting to see that video and that picture afterwards. If you asked me if I had the capability of doing that in any way, shape, and form before I got here, I would have said no.
I'd say my highlight for the week was the first day that I was able to get out the back and surf with my dad. I really didn't think I'd get out there that soon. And when I did, just being able to share that experience with him and help each other out was really awesome.
Probably the largest and most powerful surf that I've personally been in. So that was a little intimidating at first, but I think it really helped kind of getting over that fear of just being in larger surf and then going to different locations and getting to try different waves and really practice on technique as well.
Yeah, I think today is almost like everything built on itself, and I was finally able to catch an unbroken wave. So that was an awesome feeling, and it sort of felt like a culmination of 5 days of work.
The video analysis was amazing. Just
and humbling.
Humbling. After one session, we had Teal as our coach, just the immediate changes that we made just kind of increased our wave count dramatically over the course of the week.
But surfing is actually just part of this experience. Food was amazing. The coaches were amazing. The staff was amazing. Every time you think Surf Simply couldn't outdo themselves, they outdid themselves again. I'm not a big fan of stretching, but I can't imagine that I would have made it through this week without stretching. The stretching classes were great. They were manageable. The massages were unbelievable.
So the recovery part, the stretching part, the massage part definitely aided my learning because it helped me recover. And when I was refreshed and able to continue learning, when I was refreshed, I was able to continue just building my skill set because I wasn't just sitting there incredibly sore.
I watched a lot of videos of Surf Simply, the videos I think we're making right now in the months leading up to the trip, and everybody seemed to get along. Everybody looked like they had a great group, and here we are at the end of the trip. I've got 13 new friends and 13 really good new friends.
But yeah, everyone has been so fun. So much camaraderie, and just kind of everyone's in the lineup cheering for each other, and it's just such a familial feeling while you're out there with everybody over just the course of 7 days.
Once you're out of college or a new work environment, you really don't get a chance to meet new people a lot. I was a little hesitant to be put into a situation where I was going to be forced to socialize, but it ended up being really incredible, honestly, and just everyone is so positive, and really is this sort of group investment in everyone doing well, which it's unique, and I don't know if I've experienced that before.
Imagine that you have a whole week with the world's best teachers to learn about a hobby you're either really into or want to get into, And while you're doing that, you're in one of the best places to learn from a geography point of view, in Costa Rica, and you're going to be surrounded by a great group of people who, by the way, you've never met with before. And while you're doing that, you're going to be fed what's equivalent to like going out to a super nice restaurant in your hometown. You're going to wish you had more than just 7 days here.
I would explain it as a 1 week of surfing in paradise in the best environment humanly possible. For a non-surfer, I would say it was one of the best vacations, if not the best vacation I've ever had. And to get an opportunity to do it with one of my sons made it all that much better.
It's a perfect mix of active and passive. You get awesome surfing experience, but it's not even just getting out there and surfing for a couple hours a day. You're really learning a lot too. For a beginner, being able to understand so much more, not even just of my technique. It's a really great experience overall.
Surf boot camp for adults, just to come and have everything kind of taken care of for you and your days planned out. And
I would even go so far as to say life-changing.
Before we even went back to DC, we were already thinking about when we were going to be able to come back here next. It's, in a word, like the Ivy League of surfing education.
I mean, the food here is amazing. In fact, it's the hidden secret of Surf Simply. Every meal is incredible. The way they cater to your every need, whether it's a dietary restriction or a particular taste you do or don't like, the care they take in making each meal, the size of the portions, the ingredients.
Absolutely. That's correct.
I don't want to say I didn't have faith, but I'm like, how much can they really do in a week? But it really is, they have such a system in place that it really does make a difference in just even such a short period of time. And now we have homework to go back and keep working on.
so we always talked about possibly coming back, and she was always kind of against it after day one. When are we coming back? When are we coming back? Lucky to have a wife who surfs, so it makes it easier to kind of convince her to come down here and do something like this because she is getting just as much benefit as I am.
Surf Simply gave me exactly the foundation that I was hoping for when I came here. And that foundation I feel confident enough in. Like I said, it's definitely going to be a lifelong habit for me, and Surf Simply is going to be a part of that going forward.
I think I'll speak for both of us and say that we can't wait to come back.